Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I call these days of dread. You know these things are going to happen, you have to make decisions, but it still doesn't make it any easier. These are the things that you got to do in order to continue to maintain and grow a healthy homestead. So what am I talking about? Well, in short, we have sold 2 of our bucks. And, a lot of people don't like videos like this because one of 2 things are going to happen. And of course, first things first, one of these I know for sure is going to be maintained on a farm. I'm not sure about the second. Could become somebody's family dinner. I understand that. But you have to make these decisions. It's just like with roosters. So we have grown our goat herd, and because of that, we have to make decisions on keeping certain bucks away from certain does and whatnot, and it gets very, very complicated. I mean, unless you really have dozens and dozens of acres and lots of different paddocks, it compounds the situation. If you get into dairy and you start, breeding your goats and you start breeding your cow every year, you're going to produce offspring. That's how you're going to get milk. Well, I doubt that you're going to keep every single baby. I want to keep every single baby. But the fact of the matter is it gets very expensive and it gets very destructive and it gets very complicated. Trying to keep all of these animals away from each other because we don't want too much, or we don't want any inbreeding or too much of certain crossbreedings and all of that jazz, you end up having to make these types of decisions. It's just like with having too many roosters. I put up a video a couple weeks ago about how we had to sell roosters. We sold 19 roosters. And because of that, my girls the feathers are coming back beautifully. They are coming out of molt beautifully, and I'm getting a pretty decent little egg production all of a sudden. It's because that stress is gone. So this is what we're doing today. I do not know how much I'm going to end up filming because I don't know if this gentleman wants to be filmed. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I don't like to do that to people. We're going to be in the field with the mud trying to get them on the trailer. So Moses has been an excellent buck here. Abraham has been an excellent buck. I still have Samson. The good thing about Samson is he's a single lined offspring. So, and he has more Nubian in him. So we made a decision that we are keeping Samson. He's going to be our big daddy for at least the next year. And in fact, I think he already is. But the other 2, we just can't take any more chances with. They are very destructive. We've had our shed torn several different ways. I'm going to show you the footage of my door off the back of my barn because see what's happened is because of the rain and the weather. I've brought all the girls in, kept the babies in. Mud is the number 1 reason. Number 2, And so because he's trying so hard to get to them, he tore the barn door off. He did it. They can be very dangerous and they can be very destructive. They're animals. They do what they do. See, we're not mad at them, but we are having to make the decision, which you will have to make also, that Granny had to make also. You have to either earn your keep with the animal after a while, and then you have to maintain your numbers, and you just have to make hard decisions. So things on your homestead may or may not go the way you planned. Technically, I probably should have sold Moses and was selling Moses last year, but the individual that was buying him changed their mind. So that put a lot of strain on our farm because we're having to really separate. We're having to go out and constantly take the time to rotate, which is just part of it, but it's more so than probably we need to be doing. You got to watch your numbers. So this is going to allow us to let the goats come out more. We're not going to have to worry about the stress and strain of them trying to breed too much because that can become an issue. And so it's just going to be better for our farm. I know a lot of you guys get attached to our animals. We do too. I've known this was coming and I have put it off. You tend to put things off. And then when you can't let your goats out and you're trying to rotate in all this mud and then your door's torn off, you go, okay, I know we've got to make a decision. So here's the deal. These bucks can get through anything, they can get under anything, they can get over anything. They can run through these buildings. They can cross over any single fence. They can get out of any shed if they want to. A lot of you already know this. So trying to keep them separated is definitely something you have to be cautious of. The next thing that you need to be cautious of is simply this. If they have horns, you better know right now they are plumb dangerous. I don't care what anybody says. When you have a 200-pound beast who's simply just excited you're around or trying to play, or is simply just being curious about life, you don't really have a chance up against that. So that's another reason why we have to consider selling these animals, because when we got them, they were not disbudded, and specifically Moses was not disbudded. And so he's become a danger. He's great with the girls, but we have to really watch it, and there's no way I'm taking a chance. So what we're doing is we have Moses up. We put Moses back up for now over here. We've put him up. And then we have taken the cows and we have put them over into the separate field so they won't get in the way of anything that's coming or going. And the unicorn is still standing up there on top of or right by the door that he's torn off. You stink. You smelly. Huh? You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Now, some of you might be asking about Bob and Bud. They are wethers. So I didn't want to have any more bucks on the farm, clearly. So we made the decision last year when we had them that I would ban them. And that was very successful. That worked out really well, and they're really sweet, and they hang out with the girls, and they're big buddies, so it's not a complicated matter there. And they are animals, again, that, do we necessarily need them? No, but we've made them work. So, here we go. So as you can see, he tore this off. He busted that with his horns and ate half of that. And he was making his way through. So, didn't like being put up. Didn't like being put up at all. Well, it's done. Very nice. I've actually met this gentleman before. I didn't know it was going to be the same guy. And he's got a really nice farm. So I'm really pleased that this turned out as good as it could. And we appreciate you watching. And now I've been tempted into buying a new milk cow. I'll have to think about that. Guys, this is just part of the process. We appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. Do you know we have 3 inches of rain coming? We'll see you on the next video.